It is unfortunate that we don't have speakers from business and college, business administration, and Mr. Virata himself declined the invitation to appear in this forum. So you will have to content yourself with a one-sided panel. But this is not about Mr. Virata alone. Taken in isolation, Mr. Virata's deeds would seem to be regular and innocent. Unfortunately, we have rejected the dictatorship in 1986, and the dictator is not at all powerful. He is not the only power. He needs to go to sleep, for instance. When he says something, does not get done. He needs minions, like Mr. Virata. In that sense, Mr. Virata is the chief minion, and he in fact represents the soft side of the dictatorship. Some have forwarded the observation that Mr. Virata is the technocratic deodorant of the martial law regime. I interviewed Mr. Virata in various occasions as a business reporter covering the finance bill. And I can testify to his magiging maginoo. Maginoo siya. Kasi hindi niya, does not mind my favorite tactic for getting his food. I would accompany, I would ambush him in the men's room and ask questions while he's peeing. And he could not escape. But still he will answer the question. Therefore, I get his food because my competitor is a female and she could not do what I'm doing. As opposed to the snooty central bank governor at the time, Jogo Fernandez. Okay. So, what was his role that I remember at the time? This is the phenomenon called jumbo loans. Jumbo loans are loans taken out in the name of the Republic, usually to the central bank, for on lending to local users. So local users do not have the standing to borrow in the international money market. Therefore, the credit of the Republic is substituted, put in the international market. And what sweetens the deal is that the Republic offers a guarantee. So if the end user defaults on the loan, then the Philippine government will make good the obligation. Malaki ang naging papel ni Secretary Virata bilang Secretary of Finance at eventually naging Prime Minister siya para dito sa mga jumbo loans na ito. At kasama sa mga jumbo loans na ito, yung ginamit para finansyahan, to finance the Bataan nuclear plants, which has not yet generated a single megawatt of electricity up to this time. Okay. One of the advantages of being the last speaker is you just cherry pick from the previous speaker and try to see what they have not covered. So I'll raise this point. Why was the decision made? Why did we stick with a non-controversial generic name? College of Business. Why generate the controversy? Bakit? Halimbawa, umpisa nang mag-print ng stationery, etc. Pagkatapos, dahil sa kontrobersya, babawiin, sayang yung pera. So, all of this additional transaction cost is, in my opinion, unnecessary and not welcome. However, as I told you earlier, it's not just Virata. It's a question of a project, a larger project of revisionism, a larger project of political rehabilitation. And this could be just a trial balloon, so to speak. If Virata is rehabilitated, if Virata becomes honorable, then who else can be dug up from the cesspool of ignominy, so to speak? And who else but Mr. Marcos? I read the University Board of Regents decision, and they were saying we're going to honor Mr. Virata because of his service to country. Why stop there? Why not Mr. Marcos? He served the country. He is a war hero. He's a bar-top manager. Why not name the College of Law, the Ferdinand Elderly School of Business? And what the martial law? Shadow specific. So, indeed, I can put forward the notion that history is history of, it's a classic of business. In this case, apparently one side was not heard. The side which exposed Mr. Virata was the only side that was given a fair hearing. And it creates a problem because it's a done deal. The Board of Regents have already named it as the Virata School of Business. So nag-aabol lang tayo. Ano ngayon ang gagawin natin? What are we to do? Should we now petition the Board of Regents to reconsider their decision? Probably one. The other is, can we reach out to the stakeholders, including students, including alumni, regarding the decision? How do we do so? I mean, we have the classic collective action problem kasi si Dave, meron na siya, we say, captive audience. Samantalang tayo, we have to reach out to a dispersed audience to come up with some critical mass that will offer a contrary opinion. I think, as a political scientist, I'm interested not only in the history, but the question, anong gagawin ka? Kasi, nandiyan yung decision. Shall we just accept it because it's already a done deal, or shall we continue to oppose it? What kind of opposition is going to be necessary so that it's going to be meaningful and it will result in what we want to happen? Get back to this project of historical revisionism, political rehabilitation, and I'm focusing on the political fortunes of the Marcos family. Up until 2010, none of the Marcoses have ever been rehabilitated on a national basis. What has happened before 2010 would be they're getting elected in their bailiwicks. So they become governors or representatives in Ilocos or in Leyte. But in 1992, for instance, Melda made the fatal mistake of dividing the pro-Marcos vote because she competed against the Bulwagang. If you combine their votes, if one supported the other, then they would have won. Okay, so with Bongbong Marcos as senator in 2010, this is the first instance of rehabilitation of Marcos on a national scale. And Mr. Marcos is not shy about his intention of running for president in 2016. Now, in support of this bid for the presidency, they have all kinds of efforts, especially in social media, to rewrite history. And the history that is being framed as Marcos versus Aquino. It is that narrative which is being framed. So the narrative is feeding on a dissatisfaction of the sitting Aquino government, but it stretches to Cory Aquino. For instance, the Luisita issue. Narratives would say the Coacos cheated on Luisita because they borrowed money from government on condition that they are supposed to give to the farmers or to the farm workers. Okay? They first raised that in 1985, but it didn't fly. I mean, those who want to revise history never give up, because as I'm being presumptuous here. There's so many historians here. I look at history as a continuous offering of opinions. You offer opinions and you see which opinion will be accepted. Okay. What is the narrative in 1986? It's bloodless because Mr. Marcos dissuaded his general not to fire on the crowd. So, he's the hero. He's responsible for the bloodless character of 1986. And then, in answer to Nelson, what happened to us? Why did we retrogress? The response is, we retrogressed because we removed Marcos. Everything was going fine, but then when Marcos was removed, then it was downhill all the way. And there is a subtext: democracy is bad. Democracy is messy. Democracy is inefficient. When democracy was restored, we don't have discipline. That is the continuous message. So I monitor social media, and that is a recurring complaint. They will say, during the first 2 years of martial law, we queued to ride in jeepneys and all that stuff. Sidewalks were clean, etc., etc. And the battle of narratives seems to go on, and it will intensify until 2016, because it is my view that all of these are related to the grand political contest in 2016. This one, University of the Philippines, is a major battleground for capturing public imagination, for swaying public opinion. Now, let's assume it's a done deal. Assume. Don't look at me with hostility. What I'm saying is we have to be on the lookout for similar attempts to rename programs, rename buildings, etc., etc. I'll end here so that we will have more time for the question and answer. Thank you.